Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the edTPA and for WGU and how you can pass it. My program kind of changed right in the middle as I was about to take the edTPA, so I am fully versed in everything. Even though I'm not required to take it, I was still ready and prepared to take it. So I'm still going to do this video because I think it's highly important, especially for you if you have to do the edTPA. If you don't know whether that's you that has to do the edTPA, I will list below the states that are required to take it. And if you're not one of those people, I will be posting a WGU TPA version that they have for the new program. And I will be posting that as well because that's the one that I had to take. But I still have some valuable resources and strategies and everything in this video that'll really help you to pass. Before I jump right in, don't forget to subscribe and like if you haven't already done so. And thank you so much to my subscribers who are so supportive. So what is the edTPA? The edTPA is a teacher assessment, it's a big one, that kind of shows that you are ready to become an educator for the teacher field. It's a digital portfolio that combines a bunch of tasks and compiles a bunch of evidence to kind of show that you're ready to be a teacher, especially for your state. There are 3 tasks to complete. 4 if you are an elementary education major, that is something extra that you have to actually complete. So for your edTPA portfolio, you have those 3 different tasks. And of course, if you're elementary ed, you do the 4th task. The first 3 tasks, they focus on literacy. And the 4th task, if you have to do, it focuses on math. So let's just jump right into the first 3 tasks. That's usually what everyone has to take anyway, regardless of what program you're in. The first task is all about planning. So it's going to outline your central focus, the main theme for the entire 3 tasks that you have to complete. There's going to be a learning segment that is all about 3 to 5 lessons that you have to complete. Again, tying to the central focus. Then you have a planning commentary. It basically talks about and has like an in-depth view, kind of outlines everything about your lessons, the instruction, the students. And then it also kind of outlines the student demographics. So you do have to complete a contextual form, very similar if you had to complete the contextual form for WGU during PCE. That's very similar to what this is. Then you go into task 2 and it's all about your instruction. So you're going to have an instruction commentary. And then you're going to have some video footage. Your video footage is going to capture the best time that you executed one of those lesson plans. It's about 20 minutes. And then the instruction commentary is basically you talking about your video and how you're executing your lesson, interacting with students, and all that good stuff. The last task for edTPA at this point, task 3, is all about the assessment. So you're going to include evidence of student work samples, graphs, evaluation tools, and criteria. You're also going to have an assessment commentary. Again, you're going to go in more in depth. You're going to tie everything to the central focus. You're going to talk about your instruction, the assessments that you had to do, the objectives, all that stuff is going to be talked about in task 3. If you have to complete task 4 in your elementary education program, you're going to be doing the math version. So you are going to create a central focus and a learning segment, 3 to 5 lessons for whole class instruction. After analyzing student work through all those lessons, you're going to choose a small group of students where you identify areas of struggle, and then you're going to want to create a whole new lesson plan on you teaching that content. The last thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to evaluate how your reteaching lesson went. And that's basically what task 4 is for elementary math. Where to begin with the edTPA? You're going to first contact your TPA instructor. You're going to kind of Get familiarized again with the edTPA. They're going to really help you. They are an expert on the edTPA. Always go to them for support. You're going to meet with them to discuss your central focus, task 3, task 1, all of that stuff, and how you can monitor your progress. Then you're going to talk to your host teacher or your mentor teacher, and you're going to kind of fill them in. Not everyone is familiarized with the edTPA, but you're going to kind of discuss what you need from them, the requirements. Meet with them as soon as possible and begin planning immediately. Then you're going to want to create your assessment first. Always start backwards. It's very similar to WGU. Always start with the end in mind. So you're going to start with your assessment and then kind of lead up towards your central focus. Here's everything that you need to know when you're ready to submit edTPA as a whole. Now you will be submitting tasks 1, 3, and 4 to WGU. And they're really rigorous about it because Pearson is really strict with scores and everything, and really hardcore about it, just very, very rigorous. So if you feel kind of stressed that your task didn't pass, more than likely it may pass through Pearson, but they just want to be extra sure. For task 1, you are submitting the planning commentary, context for learning, lesson plans, instructional materials, and student work. For task 2, you're submitting your instruction commentary and your video footage. For task 3, you are submitting your analyzing student learning feedback, academic language use, and assessment to inform instruction. These are all forms that you have to do, so don't freak out. But these are forms that you have to submit for task 3. If you're doing task 4, you have to submit the math context for learning, your elementary math learning segment, your formative and summative assessments, evaluation criteria, student work samples from your re-engagement lesson, and then your assessment commentary. Now, there's a big difference between edTPA and student teaching at WGU. Big, big difference. They're completely separate, I might add. For WGU, you have those 6 observations completely separate from edTPA. So while you're doing student teaching, you will be completing the edTPA along with it, but it's kind of on the side, just separate. For edTPA, you're submitting to Pearson as a whole. For student teaching, you're submitting to WGU. And remember, for student teaching, that's for your degree. edTPA is for your license or certification in your state. Very different things. The edTPA isn't specifically for WGU, although you will be kind of submitting some stuff to them. You're really going to be submitting to Pearson. Completely different program and everything. For edTPA, you have a TPA instructor and your mentor teacher for support. For your student teaching, you have your clinical supervisor and your mentor teacher. For your edTPA, you're not really being observed. There's no observation form, although you are submitting video footage. You're not going to be given like an observation form, or you're not going to have a pre and post observational meeting like you would for student teaching. It's very, very different. For student teaching, you've got 6 formal observations with forms, evaluations, and all that good stuff. Again, it's just completely separate from everything. When you are submitting to Pearson, and it's all the tasks, it's all that digital portfolio and everything, know that you have to submit by a particular schedule based on when you want to graduate and when you want to get those scores back. And I do have scoring dates for this year, 2024, 2025, down below if you're interested. If you're going to be submitting this year, if you want to like graduate by the spring or whatever. So I do have that. For Pearson, there is a fee to submit your edTPA. The fee is $300. WGU does have voucher programs, so see if you're eligible for that. But the fee is $300 to submit every time. I'm not sure if it may change after if you have to submit more than once. Hopefully you only have to submit once for it. There really is no minimum passing score. I wish there was, because that's a little confusing, but it really just depends on your state. and the rubrics of the task. And those rubrics can be found in the edTPA handbook, which I will link below for you. The highest score for edTPA is about a 75, but it's very different from state to state. For example, California is like a 49, and then Tennessee is like a 40 to 48. I think it's a 40 for task 1 through 3, but if you have to do task 4, I think it's a 48. So very, very different with scoring. So I do have a free pacing guide as well, and it goes more into depth about how long you can expect everything to take. And again, with my student teaching video at WGU, I also have a pacing guide that kind of includes edTPA in that as well. So I do have strategies for you on how you can pass. Now, even though I'm not really taking this anymore, I was well versed in all the strategies out there that I did research on, and these are the best ones that I can really tell you on how you can pass. So read the handbook twice, even print it out and annotate it. A lot of people keep hard copies on file and they annotate it and they have sticky notes and everything and they color code everything. So just go wild with the handbook. You're going to want to spend the most time on task 1. Use specific examples for long responses, especially with all the commentaries that you have to do. Always reference the learning segment, those lesson plans, and your central focus in your commentaries, and try and make direct connections as well. Always write the maximum number of pages. Don't just write the bare minimum. You want to go above and beyond. And then always keep your mentor teacher informed of just everything. So resources, I do have freebies down below. I have got those infographics, those pacing guides, and all that good stuff. I have some free checklists as well. I've got the edTPA handbook. I do have videos from others' experiences who've actually taken it. So feel free to rely on those. I found them really helpful as I was beginning to prepare for the edTPA and then got told last minute that, oh no, I'm not. So I highly recommend those people, and I've linked them down below for you as well. And I was actually going to use a resource that a lot of teachers have sworn by her. Her name is Mama Yates. She is really experienced from the edTPA. She's got a lot of resources, both free and some stuff you have to buy. And I will link her stuff down below for you as well. Thank you so much for watching and being a part. I hope you all have a great day, and I hope this video was really helpful for you. Stay tuned for more of my videos, and thank you so much for watching. Bye, everyone.